So now the troops, you know, are coming in. You get that your hospital's been given the evacuation orders,
And the
and
front lines were coming closer, and we could tell by the amount of people. But what had also happened is that a train not too far from us, which was already scheduled for transport into the inner part of Germany, was hit by a bomb, and so naturally, all of a sudden, there they have another 20 or 30 casualties, and they couldn't go further because the train had to stop. So they brought them back to us, and it was chaos because these people are coming in on stretchers. The place was, the floor was stretcher to stretcher to stretcher. Not only our patients, but now we had a lot of them that had burned wounds, things that had happened from this bombing.
yeah,
And it was the expression wall to wall. It was wall to wall. I mean, you had to watch where you put your foot that you could manipulate between the beds.
yeah,
And the ones that had been on this transport, they were really war worn and hurting badly, and they said everything is lost. It's not possible that we can. He said, we're disappearing. The wounded, the ones that are dying. There's no what they call Nachschub, which means replacement.
oh,
You know, and at that time already, they were replaced by kids down to age 16 who were walking but didn't even have a gun.
packing up everybody else is loading out of the field hospital, and instead of riding with them, you decide you're going to cross the mountains in February in Germany in the middle of the night.
Well, I felt because there was no sense for me to go any further to the interior because all I was doing, going away from my family, not knowing what they were doing, what was happening to them. And I had sort of spoken to some of them, and they said, it's coming to the end. And if you go home as much as you can. And I said, we don't really have a home. He says, wherever, go. So we started to pack up because they did the transports at night because of the bombings. So they had already, the first trucks had already gone out, and they were still packing up. And I'm saying to myself, I'm deserting them. I was torn between, but then some of them said, go home, go home, go home, or wherever, you can go. And I said, okay, I'll have to do that. So as it got dark, because they were loading everything by the dark, so no lights and anything, because to prevent possibly that they air raids, could bring more destruction. And so I said, I can't go down to the main road.
You can find out more about her adventures by reading the story inspired by Hilda, Darker the Night, available at darkerthenight.com, amazon.com, and your booksellers.